All right, 7 o'clock on your Wednesday morning, October 8th. Thanks for hanging out with Good Day Austin for a bit of your morning today on your hump day. Yesterday we had a treat with that cloud covered.
And did you see any rain out there? Anybody?
You did.
I saw some coming into work this morning. I didn't see any yesterday.
Yeah. I picked up my son from football practice yesterday and had a nice little downpour. Had enough.
Downpour?
Yeah, had puddles on the ground.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's sprinkling work.
My home in high school, and then by the time I got home, we didn't have any rain. So it was very, very isolated. And the window of opportunity to see rain is going to slam shut today.
Texas National Guard members are now on the ground in Chicago. This comes despite a lawsuit in opposition from Democratic leaders calling the deployment unlawful. Monday, Governor Greg Abbott posted a photo to X of the military personnel boarding a plane without saying where they were headed. For his part, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said National Guard troops from his state would also be activated, along with the 400 from Texas. Governor Pritzker has accused President Trump of using troops as political props. Trump says the purpose is to protect federal officers and facilities in the city.
The president has the constitutional responsibility to enforce the laws of the United States, and those laws include the immigration laws. And the president has the authority to call up National Guard to assist in enforcing those laws. And that's exactly what the president is doing.
People are frightened about the potential of military troops coming to our neighborhoods. People are fearful of masked men in unmarked vans who could grab them on a street corner because of how they look or how they sound.
A federal judge gave the Trump administration 2 days to respond to a lawsuit filed Monday challenging the plan. A hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. Let's switch gears. Today, school districts across Texas will take part in National Walk and Roll Day.
That's right. So this is to help kids get excited to head out to class and stay safe. Good Day Austin's Jessica Rivera joins us live from McCoy.
A new pill for obesity could offer another option for patients struggling to lose weight. We have Dr. Pradeep Kumar with Austin Gastroenterology joining us to talk a little more about this. Good morning, Dr. Kumar. How are you today?
Good morning. Good. It's good to see you, Amanda.
Likewise. This is a pill.
Yep.
As opposed to a self-injection,
That's
which
right.
aren't so hard to take when you put the injection in your stomach or your leg. But this is a lot more accessible.
A lot more accessible. You know, the production of those medications is limited, and distribution of those medications, you have to be refrigerated, and then the ability to make them and deliver them limits the use. Not that they've been limited. I mean, there's been a 700% increase in the GLP-1s. That's what we're talking about, also known as semaglutides. You know, the famous brands that are out there, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy. They've been around for years, and the use of these drugs has just grown astronomically. Now imagine if you could create the same effect in a pill, you know, and that's what they've just done. They've already been one that was released called Rybelsus, which is only indicated for diabetes, so it didn't really count because it wasn't approved for weight loss, and you had to have diabetes in order to get it. And most of the people that are taking these GLP-1s don't have diabetes, they just are wanting to use it for weight loss. And now there's an oral semaglutide that just passed muster. It's going to the FDA, almost certainly to be approved, and we're going to have an oral semaglutide and probably a host to follow.
Do you have any idea what kind of timeline we're looking at here? It's got to go through the approval process and then get into distribution. So what are we looking at?
So I think that the FDA has earmarked it for approval in Q4. So we're already in Q4 of this year. So before the end of the year, the FDA is going to come up to the FDA to approve it, and I can't see why they wouldn't. And once they approve it, I think that this is Novo Nordisk, who also makes Wegovy. It's a big company. There's Eli Lilly that's coming right on the heels with another one. And so I think that production is ready to roll. I mean, this is a moneymaker for these drug companies, and they're not going to be wasting any time. As soon as these things are approved, I think that we're going to see it on the market. The tricky thing is always going to be the insurance companies and the approval. One would think because it's easier to produce and distribute that the prices would go down, but historically that's not how it works. You know, the pharmaceutical industry kind of sees what price the market is willing to bear and prices it right there, not any lower. And so I'm not sure the price is going to go down. You'd hope for it because it's certainly going to be cheaper for them to produce. But I think the profit's going to be higher for them. But certainly there's going to be increased use everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk maybe a little bit about that use. There is initially diabetes
Yes.
was the reason for it. But studies have also shown that it helps with inflammation. It helps with brain fog, microdosing for women that are going through perimenopause. So it's not just an obesity drug.
No, it also helps obstructive sleep apnea. And there are some other indications that we're discovering with these medications. But I think the primary effect and the primary use is going to be on obesity. We have an epidemic of obesity, and a few years ago.
Have for many decades.
Decades. But it was within the last decade that obesity surpassed tobacco as the #1 preventable cause of premature death and morbidity. And so obesity is worse than tobacco in this country as a health problem. And so that's where the big energy is going to be spent, I think. But the other indications that you speak of are going to be niche markets that aren't going to be as profitable, but still useful. And people are going to be able to use it for these other indications. We should set aside and just for a second talk about the potential downsides. There are potential risks to these medications. We see some eye issues that can come up rarely, but really if there are side effects that are significant, that'll come up with prolonged use with a lot of people over time. So I mean, those chickens might come home to roost in about 3 or 4 or 5 years when a lot of people use them for a long period of time. Then these things might crop up. So we really, truly don't know the downsides of these drugs. They seem overall pretty safe right now, but you know, there should be a cautionary tale.
In the meantime, speak with your physician.
That's
That's
right.
always the recommendation?
Absolutely. You know, it's not right for everybody, but it's coming soon. It's going to be questionable again if your doctor's going to be able to write it for you. I'm in the business, and I know you can write something that's indicated for an appropriate condition, and they're just going to say no. And so your health insurance
And by that you mean your health insurance would
That's right.
then be an out-of-pocket because at that point you pay the $400 to $1,000.
The full
for a
amount.
dose. Yeah.
That's right. And right now it could be, like you said, $500 to $1,000 if you have to pay out of pocket. Not everybody can afford that.
No, I know it's expensive,
Yep.
but it is life-changing.
It is.
Dr. Kumar, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. We will be right back.